I'll introduce myself to those of you who haven't seen me here or other places before. I am David K. Williams, the Libertarian candidate for Attorney General. Normally I'm in a lawyer suit, but I'm pinch hitting for Mike Donovan tonight. And my campaign manager handed these out to everyone, and there she is right there. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I am not your campaign manager, and two, I am your daughter.
Both are true. Yes, both are true. And she made a little sign. You want to hold that up? All right. Thank you very much. That's her new thing there. Yes. Yes, Wendy.
Daughter be old enough that we can vote for her.
9 years. Yes. Well, can you run when you're 18? Well, she can vote when she's 18, but I don't know if she can run. Can she?
Depends on what.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So she sure could.
All right, good. Good. You're halfway there. Yes. Mike knows it from firsthand experience what it's like to be on the city council. But let me do a couple of visual aids first from Attorney General. And I'll answer Brian's question specifically because, surprisingly enough, I think we've heard that question before. Yeah. And others as well. Right. I'll be on your ballot. There'll be 3 people on your ballot. Statewide race, just like for governor. There'll be the Democrat, there'll be the Republican, and there'll be the person you should vote for who you're looking at. David K. Williams, the Libertarian. The Republican and the Democrat, neither one of them are fans of the Second Amendment. And we did talk to this group in Canyon City with a lot of people open carrying. It was a good crowd to talk to. We knew what to address. And I've said from the beginning that I've been behind the sheriff's lawsuit against the 2 pieces of unconstitutional legislation that were passed in 2013, limiting the size of magazines you could have from a date forward, and requiring background checks even if you wanted to sell your gun to your cousin who you've known your entire life. The Attorney General is defending both of those. Worse than that, though, and I can understand an argument. Yeah, we're supposed to do that. I don't think they should, and in fact, they actually issued 2 technical amendments which said that even though a base plate can be removed on your on your magazine, that will make it readily convertible to more than 15. We're not going to enforce that because it's so stupid. That's kind of, I paraphrased it, but that's basically what it says. So they've already admitted that it's unconstitutional, it can't be enforced. But beyond that, footnote 5, you can look this up in their pretrial brief before the federal district court. They said, sure, these amendments or these pieces of legislation are constitutional because the state has the power to ban all private sales of firearms. That is in their brief. It's not an issue before the court, but they made that argument. And if you're a fan of the Second Amendment, you cannot vote for the Republican or the Democrat in this race, if that's what's important to you. Sure, there's other things, but you got to weigh that. But if that's what's important to you, know you're giving up that right. And so I'm criticized by the Republican on occasion by saying, well, you've got to enforce the law. Well, they don't. Nobody has to enforce the law. The oath of office is to the Constitution of the United States of America, which I have in my pocket as a visual aid. The oath of office is to this. It's not to whatever nonsense the General Assembly passes. And they know it. In their technical amendments, they said we're not going to enforce this because it's so stupid. So they know that. But they're trying to make it a political issue. And beyond that, there was a piece of legislation passed the same year, 13-1317, which would have segregated magazines, actual magazines, periodicals, based upon their editorial content. It was in response to Amendment 64 passing. And it said that if any magazine deals with marijuana, we're going to put that back behind the counter. Well, that's clearly unconstitutional. You cannot segregate reading material based upon what's in it. I mean, it's pretty clear First Amendment issue. Passed the General Assembly, Governor Hickenlooper signed it, and the current Republican AG correctly said, that's not going to fly. We're not going to enforce that. For one thing, if they had tried to enforce it, they'd have been on the hook for the ACLU and David Lane's legal fees, and they knew that. So they didn't enforce it. So it's not an issue. We know the oath of office is to the Constitution. Now, the principle isn't an issue. You enforce the Constitution. The application of it is. That's where the difference comes in between me and the Republican and the Democrat. All right, here's my next visual aid. So the current Attorney General understands that you have to protect High Times magazine, but they don't understand you also have to protect high capacity magazines. All right, so that's my big finish.